have a Humpty Dumpty story for you today. It's called After the Fall, How Humpty Dumpty Got Back Up Again. Now, I always thought that when Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, he was broken to pieces and could never get fixed. But this story is about what happened after the fall, and I think it's going to have a happy ending. So I'm excited to read it and find out what it says. This is a Caldecott Medal winner book. I don't see the little sticker on here, but it just says that right there with words, and it's by Dan Santat. After the Fall. So the story continues. Look at this. It says right here, to Cove Kindergarten from Fred Gustafson, Christmas 2017. We know somebody who has that last name. Philo. Philo, do you know Fred Gustafson? That's your brother. After the Fall. My name is Humpty Dumpty. This is my favorite spot, high up on a wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be, but I loved being close to the birds. Then one day, I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall, which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Now look, if you look close, you can see some motion lines, and there's some binoculars. So I think he already fell, and maybe his binoculars are still falling. And we can't see him in the picture. And now they're jumping ahead a little bit. Fortunately, all the king's men managed to put me back together. So in this one, he did get put back together. Can we look close? Looks like there's maybe some bandages on him. It's a little bit cracked, huh? And it looks like he's walking out of the Kings County Hospital. So it says that they were able to put him back together, and then he says, well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. Okay, so now look at it. Looks like he used to sleep up high, and he had pictures of birds, but now he's sleeping down on the ground. I wonder what part of him still needs to get fixed and healed. Could it be something on the inside that we can't see? And I wonder why he's not sleeping up there on the top bunk anymore. After that day, I became afraid of heights. Now I know why he wasn't sleeping up there, huh? It says, I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. Okay, so it looks like his favorite cereals are up on the top, but he's got to climb a ladder to get them, and look at what cereal he's looking at down here. And look at his face. He's not very excited about those. Those are like the grown-up cereals down there, huh? I walked past the wall every day, and I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I knew that accidents can happen. And there he is, walking past the wall, thinking about it. There's some other egg people in the story there too. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. See, there he is with his binoculars watching the birds. There's the birds up there. It says, then one day an idea flew by. Can you see that paper airplane right there? It just flew right through his binocular vision. Ooh. Making planes was harder than I thought. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. You ever had a paper cut before? Those hurt, huh? But day after day, I kept trying. He's really concentrating on that one, isn't he? And trying. Looks like there's some Z's. I think that means he fell asleep while he was trying. Ooh. wow, until I got it just right. Look at that paper airplane. Looks like a bird. My plane was perfect, and it flew like nothing could stop it. You see, go right here and all around here. I hadn't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. So here he is down on the ground, and there's his paper airplane bird flying around up there, and that's making him happy. Unfortunately, accidents happen. I wonder what happens now. Maybe something happened to his bird plane. They always do. Now look at the perspective of this. There's the wall. I wonder if we need to kind of turn it this way. There's the wall. Oh, there's Humpty right there. He's looking. Oh no, this bird is way up there on the wall. We're flying towards the wall. Uh-oh, now you can see what happened. I think his airplane bird landed on top of the wall. I almost walked away again, but then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. So he almost walked away again. He almost walked away from climbing this tall thing because he's afraid of going up there, isn't he? I decided I was going to climb that wall. Good for him. I know that's a scary thing to do. That's brave. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. And I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. Look, he's all green. Does his face look worried? Yes, it does. But it looks like the other birds are cheering him on. They'd be like, come on, you can do it. I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing, one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Wait a minute. You mean his fear went away as he was doing that hard thing and he realized he could do it? He looks so happy, doesn't he? Remember earlier this year when we learned that when we do hard things, it fills our bucket? I think his bucket got filled up. He was feeling pretty empty for a while there. Uh-oh, I see him cracking. It says crack, crack. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Because maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Maybe you'll think of him as the egg that was famous for climbing and getting back up again after a fall. After the fall. What is going on in this picture? This picture is very perplexing to me. He's happy. Looks like is that leaves that are on him? Kind of looks like leaves, and the birds are still coming around him, but his bandage fell off down here. Let's see if the words help us understand what's going on. It says, hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. That didn't really help. I wonder what's going on. What? What is happening in this picture? I see eggshells bursting apart, wings sticking out. There's that bandage up in the air. Can you figure it out? There's his pants and his shirt. Wait a minute. Wait was there a bird growing inside the Humpty Dumpty eggshell? And it just hatched? And he flew away? I love this book. I love the happy ending. Oh my goodness. All that time he was incubating a bird. A bird was growing in there. No wonder he loved to go up in high places and he loved the birds and he always wanted to fly. That's who he was on the inside, a bird. These last words right here say, and learned how to fly. Now that doesn't make sense, so I'll go back and read. The whole sentence starts right here. Hopefully you'll remember me as the egg who got back up and learned how to fly. Oh, I just love this book. There's like a big idea in this book. You know, the big idea is the one with the light bulb. Let me grab it. The light bulb right here. What do you think the author, whoops, wrong side. What do you think the author wants us to learn? What is the message in this book that can help us? Because we're not birds inside of an egg, are we? But can we be kind of like that? Can we kind of have a personal connection to that? Has there ever been something that you were afraid to do and you worked at it and you worked at it and then you found out that you really enjoyed it? Yeah, it doesn't even have to be about something up high, huh? Just something you were afraid of that was scary. It could even be like riding a bike or swimming or even eating a scary kind of food that you tried. I hope you enjoyed our book, After the Fall.